11 p.m. and these are the headlines. The President of the Republic chairs presentation on strategic vision for the capital's development and modernization and issues orders and directives regarding the projects and action plans. And the rehabilitation of Algiers' maritime facade includes projects aimed at providing quality public services and transforming the capital into a tourist destination. Death toll in Gaza surpasses 45,000 as civilians, rescue teams and medical workers continue to face relentless attacks. And the Makhzen uses fake news for propaganda, allocates $150 million for cyber attacks on neighboring countries over the last 3 years. Welcome back, everyone. First of all, the President of the Republic, Abdelmajid Tebboune, followed today at the Cultural Palace Mufti Zakaria in Algiers a presentation of the strategic vision for the development and modernization of the capital, for which the government devoted considerable means in order to build the capital of international standards for the future generations within a cultural and national framework that reflects the spirit of the authenticity and renovation. Upon his arrival to Mufti Zakaria Cultural Palace, the President of the Republic was welcomed by the Minister of the Interior, Local Authorities and National Planning, the Minister of Culture and Arts, the Governor of Algiers, as well as some of the province officials. Then the President of the Republic greeted senior state officials, the Prime Minister, the Director of the Presidential Office, the Minister of State, Minister of Energy, Mines and Renewable Energies, the Secretary General of the Presidency, Personal Secretary to the President of the Republic and the Minister of Finance. After that, the President of the Republic followed a detailed presentation on the strategic vision for the development and modernization projects of the capital, City Algiers, and this in the presence of senior government officials, members of the government, advisors to the President, deputy governors and mayors concerned by these projects. The presentation was outlined by the Governor of the capital. The President of the Republic then gave instructions and directives regarding the project and the work plan for modernizing the capital, respecting its cultural and civilizational heritage. Afterwards, the President of the Republic inspected the Bay of Algiers from the Cultural Palace and gave instructions concerning its modernization. After that, the President of the Republic listened to detailed explanations of the development and modernization projects, which is meant to be the center of the Arab, Islamic, African and Mediterranean influence. The President of the Republic stated that once these projects in Algiers are completed, we will proceed with other provinces such as Constantine, which deserves its fair share of development along with other provinces, and the east, west, center and south of the country.
لما نكمل بالعاصمة نفوت الولايات الأخرى. قسنطينة لازم تأخذ حقها كذلك. قسنطينة بلاد تفوق 1200 سنة، يعني بلاد تاع مقاومة وبلاد تاع تاريخ بالنسبة للولايات الأخرين، شرق غرب وسط جنوب كذلك. يعني بهذه الكيفية نرجع الجمال بيصير للرأس اللي هي العاصمة، المدن الأخرى كذلك، والجزائر بصفة عامة. اليوم الأمور يعني ميسورة الحمد لله. On peut avoir l'ambition de la rénovation, il faut le faire.
In his address on the occasion, the Minister of Interior, Local Authorities and Regional Planning emphasized the importance the President of the Republic places on modernizing the country's major cities.
لقد شكل التكفل بظروف المواطنين وإطارهم المعيشي نواة
Taking care of the conditions of citizens and their living framework has been the core of your instructions, around which all public policies that you have decided on have been centered. Accordingly, I initiated a package of development measures that touch different regions of the country according to the comprehensive and integrated perspective based on balance and equity, rehabilitating regions and enhancing their attractiveness through strategic projects, thus constituting a lever for the economic and social movement that the country is witnessing. President of the Republic, guided by your directives and implementing your instructions, we have proceeded during the last 2 years to launch a number of structured projects that would accommodate the developmental concerns of the province of Algiers, as well as the development of multidimensional strategic visions aimed at establishing a renewed identity for the capital and elevating it to a center of excellence.
The strategic plan for the modernization of the capital includes the rehabilitation of the maritime facade, projects aimed at providing quality public service and making Algiers a tourist destination. Wanya Al-Bahri.
Algiers is changing visibly. The development work on the seafront at Kitani Square in Bab el-Oued is progressing at steady pace. The project includes, among other things, leisure and relaxation areas, as well as restaurants to accommodate the greatest number of families, visitors and tourists who will come to discover the white Algiers. It is a good initiative to redevelop this site to allow residents and even visitors to relax and discover the place. It is interesting. On the tourist level, this project really brings added value. It will allow local and foreign tourists to discover the beauty of Algiers. Whether we are with family or friends, this place will allow us to have a good time and relax in complete safety. Algerian skills supervise the work and control the quality of the materials used. The mission of the Maritime Studies Laboratory consists of monitoring, controlling the work in accordance with the specifications and plans drawn up by the design office. This project includes green areas, sports and leisure spaces, as well as the development of the public spaces to guarantee all the comfort for families and visitors. This project, which is currently being carried out along the coast, is part of the Blue Plan, which also includes the extension of La Promenade des Sablettes and the maritime line linking several coastal municipalities from Al Mohammedia to Al Marsa.
And as part of his official visit to Ethiopia in his capacity as special envoy of the President of the Republic, Abdelmajid Tebboune, the Minister of State, Minister for Affairs, National and Community Abroad and African Affairs, was received today in Addis Ababa by the Ethiopian Prime Minister Abiy Ahmed Ali. Attaf handed the Ethiopian Prime Minister a written message from the President of the Republic conveying his fraternal greetings, expressing his will to pursue joint efforts to raise relations between Algeria and Ethiopia to a high level. The meeting was also an opportunity to discuss the strong ties between the two countries based on close coordination and fruitful cooperation, as well as developments in the situation in Africa, especially in the regions to which both countries belong. The Minister of State, Minister for Affairs, National, Community Abroad and African Affairs, Ahmed Attaf, had talks with his Ethiopian counterpart, Gideon Timotheos, as part of the official visit he is making in his capacity as special envoy of the President of the Republic. The talks enabled the two ministers to examine the ways and means of making the most of the forthcoming meetings of the Great Joint Commission to infuse a new dynamic into Algerian-Ethiopian relations by devoting more attention to the economic cooperation. The two ministers also exchanged views on important issues raised at the African Union. The death toll in Gaza exceeds 45,000 as announced by the Health Ministry today. 14 months have passed and Palestinians in Gaza are still facing relentless attacks, with civilians, rescue teams and medical workers targeted and killed every day, leaving thousands of victims trapped under rubble.
In the heart of Gaza Strip, Deir al-Balah, Civil defense and rescue teams are struggling to manage the immense devastation, hindered by a severe lack of critical resources. Amid the chaos, Palestinians are using their bare hands to search through the rubble, desperately trying to recover the bodies of martyrs and locate the missing. I woke up to the sound of an explosion. As soon as I opened my eyes, a red light blinded me. My children were screaming and flames surrounded us. I have 8 children. The eldest is 10 and the youngest is 3. We are civilians. None of us are armed. We have nothing to defend ourselves. While carrying out their humanitarian and national duties in a Nusayrat area in central Gaza, a recent Zionist airstrike killed 4 members of the civil defense teams and injured 5 others. 3 of them critically, according to the Palestinian civil defense. Medical teams are constantly targeted by the Zionist bombardments. However, I didn't expect the refugee camps where the medical teams have set up what little medical equipment they have left to be deliberately targeted. It is an appalling act of inhumanity. The Nusayrat Civil Defense Center has now been targeted twice by the occupying forces. The first attack in June resulted in the martyrdom of 3 firefighters. With the recent assault that killed 4 members of the Nusayrat team, the total number of Palestinian civil defense martyrs has risen to 94. We're trying to save as many people as possible. Here there are still 2 or 3 people under the rubble. Many Palestinian victims remain trapped under the rubble or lying on the roads, while ambulances and civil defense teams are being blocked by the occupying forces from providing any assistance.
Fake news are used for propaganda by the Makhzen, which has also allocated $150 million to cyber attack the neighboring countries over the last 3 years.
The Makhzen regime is waging a silent digital war to manipulate public opinion and sow discord through an army of electronic trolls and fictitious accounts. It spreads false information, stirs up tensions, and distorts reality. These trolls operate through thousands of automated accounts managed by advanced softwares and supervised by specialists. Their mission is simple: to invade social networks with misleading messages, manipulative hashtags, and comments aimed at sowing confusion and dividing peoples. Their main target is to hurt the security of neighboring countries. They seek, through dissemination of fake news, to weaken relations between states, to tarnish the image of the countries of the region, and to discredit just causes such as that of the Sahrawi people or the Palestinian people. These agents even infiltrate official accounts of certain foreign institutions, using pseudonyms and local dialects to appear credible. According to recent reports, the Makhzen has spent $150 million over the past 3 years to finance these digital operations. Leaks have revealed that these tools are coordinated to amplify disinformation and carry out targeted attacks against those who dare to challenge the regime's interests. Everything that is said through these accounts is nothing but lies, and they are convinced that it will impact public opinion. Revelations that highlight the methodical organization of these campaigns and the malicious intentions that motivate them, a strategy that illustrates the reality of a regime immersed in unworthy maneuvers. Instead of investing in the well-being of its marginalized people, it relies on fake news to sow discord and harm neighboring nations.
That was it for today's news. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you soon.